Hello and welcome back to Dan's All About Arsenal 1886. We're here for the preview show today. Where we've got Fulham versus Arsenal coming in this Saturday at 5:30. I'm sure we'll be watching, but we're going to do a little preview, see what sort of kind of we're expecting on the lineup, look at some historic kind of information about head-to-heads and bits with Fulham over recent years, who's refereeing, and kind of any other news of the day on the kind of this part. So we're going to get straight in there. But before we get started, I'm going to whack this up, add to the slideshow as well. But if you're new to the channel, I'm new as well, growing from that point of view. So anyone watching, even for a minute, it's free to subscribe. So help me out. If you're a fellow Gooner, click it, turn the notification bells on, come back, comment, get involved. We're going to do live streams most evenings during the week around 8 o'clock. And then we're doing kind of separate kind of individual videos what I've just put up on my channel, a little bit about Arsenal and 10 things you might not have known. So it's a bit of a kind of education as well. But we want to kind of continue to do the previews, the reaction shows after. So aiming for the day after or a few days after that. And hopefully we can remain at top of the league with that 1 point kind of start. And I made a bold prediction in my previous video, which was I see Man United going to beat Liverpool this weekend. So who's with me on that one? We'd love to see another upset or Liverpool crumble in their last three results. It'll be fantastic. So, but let's get straight into the show and the preview for today. So here we go. This is obviously the thumbnail as well, but just want to kind of highlight that fact. And obviously just remind everyone to subscribe. So quickly do it, click it, it's done. We've just hit over 50 subscribers, which I'm really happy about. I think it's 52 as we record this. And obviously we're just getting a lot of love from mainly TikTok, Instagram as well. And obviously people just finding that naturally through the channels, but it means so much, especially when you're starting out. And obviously we're going to continue to grow. And so we're here for fun, here for a hobby, and here to build a community of people like-minded Arsenal fans who just want to talk and hear more about Arsenal. So let's have a look at this. So we faced some of the old Arsenal boys. So Emile Smith-Rowe, Alex Iwobi. I mean, from the point of view, I haven't really seen much of Smith-Rowe. I don't think he's been playing that much this season so far. I think when I'd heard and read, he'd only played about 20% of the games and the minutes so far this season. So, and I don't know if it's reoccurring kind of injuries or the manager doesn't have much faith in him from a physical point of view. So, hopefully, I'd love to see him still out there because obviously I'm a big fan, but as long as he doesn't score us against us, we're absolutely fine. But I mean, Alex Iwobi himself, I do think he's a hell of a player. And I've always sort of been quite fond of him, as a Fulham player and where he's been before. But I think he's a decent player for them, one to maybe watch out for. But I'm pretty still confident that we're going to come out of this on top. But there is some historic information that may say differently. And as you can see here, a little screenshot with previous games. 2023 or 2023, we smashed them 3-0, which would be lovely to see that again. But obviously with a year after that, obviously we played them at theirs and we lost 2-1. And then last year it was a 1-1 draw. So, there's wins and draws and a loss all in the last kind of meetings as well, which is an interesting one. But I don't think they're quite the team that we are. I think we've done a hell of a lot more in the window in the summer, and I don't think they've had a very good one at all. From what we'd seen, had a few players in, but nothing to the extent that we've done. We've spent a hell of a lot more money. We're expected to win the game, but obviously previous head-to-heads do sort of bring stuff up that kind of gets you thinking. But from the point of view of how well we've done since then, I'm not too concerned. But from the point of view of what was interesting to see how we kind of squared up with them last time. So this was the squad when we faced him in the last where we won 2-1. Mikel Merino, Bukayo Saka from the subs. And obviously this is what we want to do again. But you can see similar layout there. We've got Raya, Timber, Saliba. You've got Gabriel there, Lewis Skelly on the left, which I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him again coming out, maybe giving California a bit of a rest there. Obviously, Odegaard, we know is going to be injured, and Partey from last year as well, and Rice. But I kind of fully expect Zubimendi to be kind of where Partey obviously is, Rice in his usual spot. And I think most of us are expecting Eze to take the Odegaard role from that point of view. we've got the choice, obviously, of Trossard and Martinelli out on the left. Arteta's been sort of favouring, we think, Trossard maybe on that left, with Martinelli maybe as a good option off the bench. Obviously, Marino's there as well, obviously, last time, which will be having Victor up front, as we know. But would Marino maybe start in the midfield? Maybe have is out on the left. So we've got those options as well. But if you're watching this, you got your thoughts, put it down in the comments. It's always good to kind of get people's thoughts as well. And obviously, we know we'll have Saka starting out on the right with a few options off the bench with Ranieri. I can see Downman getting back in the squad as well, being there just as an option. And obviously, if we're dominating the game, we're a few goals up, you can see some changes being made like we have been. And I've really enjoyed and appreciated a lot more kind of sub work we've had. We've had some really impactful subs throughout the season, all sort of 7 games plus some of the international sort of Champions League games and stuff like that. So really effective off the bench, and that's why strength and depth has been massive for us. Even with all the injuries we're facing, we still feel just comfortable from that point of view. And I'm confident going into, I think, any game at the moment from that point of view. But yeah, this was last year's lineup, so it'll be interesting to see how we go. But obviously, just interesting to look back at the form, obviously, of the current season. So you can see the last 2 games for Fulham haven't been great. They've come across a tough Bournemouth. Obviously, Semenyo again, which is a big talking point for a lot of clubs, maybe in January or next summer. But obviously got smashed 3-1, and also by Aston Villa, who kind of found form because they didn't score for a good couple of games, did they? They're having a bit of a goal drought at the very start of the season, but they seem to be coming into their usual form now. Obviously, they had Cambridge United, which you'd expect to win a cup game, and beating Brentford 3-1, which is a solid win, to be fair, from there. And obviously Leeds, I mean, they should be beating Leeds from that point of view, team coming up, and they're, well equipped for that. And obviously you look back at ours, obviously West Ham 2-0, come on. Olympiacos Champions League, fantastic game. I was there that night. It was great. Good game, solid performance. Never any worries from that point of view. Defensively, we're just sound. Newcastle, for me, was a massive turning point. I don't know about you guys from that point of view. The unbelievable sensation of Gabriel getting that last-minute header and actually beating Newcastle. It's been a tough couple of years against them. Port Vale was a given. We should be beating teams like that. Obviously, we had a huge amount of changes, but we got the job done. And then the Man City game, which was a draw. So that's our last 5 against each of us. So interesting from that point of view. But I do think we're obviously in much better form. We're top of the league. They're currently sitting, I think, on the next slide. We've got it here in 14th. So obviously played 7, 2 wins, 2 draws, 3 losses. They've only scored 8 against 11. It's actually -3 on their current goal difference as well, where we're actually +11, which is fantastic. They've only got 8 points. From that point of view, from a possible 21. We've obviously got 16 from that point of view, which is a lot better. Obviously, you wouldn't be top for any reason like that. Obviously, we've played 7, won 5, drawn 1 against Man City, lost against Liverpool, which we don't want to talk about. But obviously 4 for 14, and still, look at that compared to everyone else. Only allowed 3 goals. Unbelievable. So we had 1 against Newcastle, 1 Liverpool, 1 Man City. So we are doing superbly well. Defensive form is fine. I don't see us conceding in this game at all. We might get shocked, but I'll be really surprised. We're ready for this. The guys are ready and prepared. We've got the best defence in the league, and I don't think we're going to be conceding on Saturday. I'll say it here now. So, but let's go. Next slide. If we're going to be winning games, I think like this, we need this guy to start firing. Obviously, we're all super patient. I think we've got to that point now where we've seen him score against Leeds. Obviously, got those 2 goals. And I think from our point of view, it's nothing that sort of patience is wearing thing or anything like that. We just want to see him start to score. And what's interesting, I don't know if you can kind of read that there, because obviously we're getting a lot of other strikers have been done this year. Ekitike, the guy from Newcastle, can't quite pronounce his name, who scored against us, getting high praise for their start to the season. Ironically, they've scored 3 goals each. Gyökeres has scored 3 goals, but he obviously gets a completely different kind of media attention from that point of view, like most of the Arsenal sort of players, it seems. So we are tarred definitely with a different brush from that point of view, but we still believe, and he will come good, from that point of view. And he has been in different ways, but at the end of the day, I think I've heard it before and other things where his currency as a striker is goals. He needs to start scoring some goals. but continue off the ball work, putting defenders out of position. I've never seen Saka so available. Just a one-on-one's really lovely to see rather than 2 or 3 on him. They've got to kind of pick him up in the middle. But as soon as that kind of starts slipping back, you can imagine, him being in the middle where your Havertz may not be because they're different types of profile, but he's going to be in the middle to take that extra sort of touch, cross ball coming across from the likes of Eza, Martinelli, Saka, just get him on the end of it. He scored with a header, I think, in pre-season. And obviously he's got a couple of balls where he's a tap in. I think he had that one from Eza, which was great as well. So that is a striker's goal. That's what we want. But he showed with Leeds he can do it individually as well. So fully believe in Gyökeres. Got him printed on the shirt. He's got to start scoring some goals. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. But I think we've got a good run of games where we can see him against some less opponents, I suppose, from that point of view. And I think this is his opportunity. And let's be honest, we also got to remember that if Havertz was here, he'd be taking some of the slack from a goal point of view, but the amount of minutes he's been playing. He's obviously played a couple of games for Sweden as well. So obviously he's going to be feeling it from that point of view. He's getting up to fitness and he's played more, which in one respect you think, it's going to be a good thing that he's played a lot more minutes, so he's got him up to speed. But also he does need a rest in between. We can rotate players, but I think Havertz is just a different option, for us. If he starts, Gyökeres comes on, or Gyökeres and Havertz comes on. So I do and would like to see a bit of a mix-up when Havertz returns, which there was some news I think I'd read today that, like before, he's making really good headway. He's back out on the grass. I did see some videos on the Arsenal kind of Instagram webpage and stuff like that. Him coming on. I think they were doing open training, little cuddle with Gunnosaurus. And it looks like Havertz is back out there training, which is a great to see from that point of view. We need everybody if we're going to win this league and win some other trophies this year. So welcome back to sort of Havertz training, and it'll be interesting to see. I don't think he'll be making match day squad, but you never know. But I think give it another week or so, he'll be back in that squad and another option for us. So bring it on, Havertz. Just wanted to touch on this as well. So the ref for Saturday is Anthony Taylor. So interesting facts I'd included on here. So I'll read it out for you. Anthony Taylor's Arsenal record. The Gunners are unbeaten in their past 8 matches with Taylor as referee, though 5 of those have been draws. And their most recent match under Taylor, Arsenal were reduced to 10 men, with Mikel Merino sent off for 2 yellow cards in a 2-2 draw with Liverpool in May 2025. It's an interesting one. He's one of the more experienced referees in the league, can be a little bit card happy, hence Merino getting sent off. He's done about 56 games, I think, for Arsenal historically. And out of those, I think we've got about 7 sendings off. So it's something we've got to be careful and watch how he reacts. He's not afraid, obviously, to send us off, but we've got to keep our heads and know that we've had this issue in the past, I think, with referees brandishing cards. Mainly last year, we've been solid from that point of view. No real awful cards or anything else so far, but let's not start now. I'd like to continue to have all 11 on the pitch this year and give every advantage we can from that point of view. So, but it'll be interesting. So bring it on. Obviously, positive news as well. We heard that Pierre and Capier is taking part in also open training this morning. I haven't actually seen any images of him, but I haven't delved too deep into it. I just happened to come across the Havertz one. But obviously, we know he was, due to come back. We'd love to see him kind of in the mix now. Be interesting to see if he makes the squad. So if he gets a few minutes, if we've got a decent lead. But from my point of view, you've got Fury, you've got Miles Lewis-Skelly, obviously on that side. He could potentially come in on the left or left centre. So if you want to change off with Gabriel maybe and just give him some time as well. But he's going to be a vital player as we go in. Great squad player, but great player overall. Gives us a few more options going forward as well because he likes to get up there. But he's obviously given him time maybe with the injury to learn more about how Arsenal approach the game. So I think watch this space. But the next few weeks and all this sort of good run of games before the next international break that we can maybe see a bit more of him. And obviously we've got Tuesday night Champions League game with Atletico Madrid. So looking forward to going there and watching that one. So my predictions. I'm predicting a 2-0 win. Goal scorers. Let's go Gyökeres, scoring 1. And I think Saka. I think he's He scored an absolute blinder, obviously, for England, and I want to see that sort of form for him coming back. Whip it round on your left, put it top left corner, please, Saka. And Gyökeres, striker's goal, tap in, crossover from Aneza or someone like that would be fantastic. But 2-0 is my prediction. What's yours? Let me know down in the comments. Hit me up, see what you think is going to be the next score for us. And it'll be interesting to see what everyone thinks. But remember, short and sweet. Subscribe, as mentioned before, if you've enjoyed this little bit of content. It's just a preview. Obviously, we're doing stuff in the evening where we can talk about sort of daily news and everything else is the plan, with some standalone kind of videos about Arsenal legends and everything else sort of Arsenal related. So, but check out the most recent one. Again, that was that 10 things you didn't know about Arsenal, which is starting to get a few hits on there and some sort of positive feedback. So I appreciate everyone reaching out. Thank you for subscribing so far. And obviously I'll put some additional shorts out for people because people tend to like the short videos, which are taken from the main video as well, which I'll splash across socials as well as YouTube. So, but I'll see you in the next one. And obviously, again, come on, you Gunners.